Hey, homegirl, welcome to the Girl Just Heal podcast, where together we learn how to navigate our healing journeys in a way that challenges us to destroy limits and break down walls that have been keeping us subject to our trauma. I am your host, your favorite homegirl, Neimoya Basden. And just like you, I am on this healing journey, navigating the ups and downs of this thing called life, while simultaneously allowing God to usher me right into the place where He wants me to be. So get comfy, grab your journal, and let's talk about all the ways we can heal, grow, and evolve together. Hey, homegirls, welcome to the Girl Just Heal podcast. I'm your favorite homegirl, Neimoya Basden, and Chad, listen. So how are you doing? How are you healing? How are you feeling? I pray that you are doing well. Pray that you are feeling well. All of those good things. Pray that you are enjoying your new year. I still can't believe it's 2025, but I ain't gonna sound like a broken record because I feel like I just keep on saying that. But I pray that your year has been prosperous and that your year is looking up already. That's what I pray for you for 2025. So we're going to go ahead and get into this episode. First things first, y'all already know, girljustheal.com, baby. If you haven't already got your homegirl merch, baby, the homegirls have been eating these pieces up. Y'all love this collection. Y'all love this set of homegirl merch that just dropped, and I'm all here for it because trust me, the process of me coming up with these pieces, it was one that I'm gonna have to document and I'm gonna have to let y'all in on it, but it was definitely one that was not easy. But y'all have been loving these pieces, and I love that y'all love these pieces. I can't wait to see y'all in y'all pieces. Remember, when you get your pieces, baby, tag Girl Just Heal, tag me, okay? Send it to my DMs or what. Just get those images to me. I would love to just showcase y'all to the homegirl community and y'all homegirl merch because, baby, oh my goodness, these pieces are amazing. All of them are my favorite. Let me just say that. Every piece is my favorite. But I could be a little biased. I don't know. But make sure you're continuing to get your homegirl merch, get your prayer cards, and all of that good stuff at girljustheal.com. If you are not a part of the homegirl newsletter, baby, I need you to join the homegirl list, okay? Go down to the bottom of the page or the home page and just enter your email, and that's it. You in the homegirl list, and that's all it takes to join the homegirl list so that you can be the first to know about just all things Girl Just Heal, okay? And so the second update is Girl Just Heal Conference is happening September 2025. Make sure y'all continue to get those tickets, baby. I see y'all registering. I see all of that, and I'm so excited. I cannot wait until we are in the room together, just healing and growing and evolving and just executing on everything God has called us to do, baby. This year's conference, I look forward to it so very much. So that's it for the homegirl updates. So now we're going to shout out a homegirl. Now, this homegirl review, it comes from one of our homegirls on Instagram, and she did DM, so y'all know I ain't gonna say her name, but she says, "Thank you for your message. Today is my first day hearing your podcast. I listened to the How to Handle People Who Trigger You, and you spoke a word, okay? You had me hollering in the car. Everything you said was on point. It came right on time. I am now a follower. I hope to learn to use God and put Him first in my healing. Thank you." Homegirl, I love you. I know I already responded to you in the DMs, but I love you. Thank you so much for this review. It is so amazing. And I look forward to continuing to heal, grow, and evolve together. When I tell y'all that last line, it really did something to me because she said, I hope to learn how to use God and put Him first in my healing. Baby, that is major. That is that is the key to healing. Keeping God first, because when you put God first, everything else is going to fall in line. And that is what I live by. And so, homegirl, you are in the right place. Okay, baby, you're in the right place to learn how to not only put God first, but keep God first during your healing journey. So I love you. I love all y'all homegirls. And I pray that we just continue to heal, grow, evolve together and build this community, build this sisterhood, y'all. I'm so excited about just this sisterhood in this community and where God is about to take it. So now y'all already know what time it is, baby. We are going to get into the most favorite part of the episode, and y'all know what that is. Put on your best singing voice because it is time for what? It is time for the prayer cards. Prayer cards. It is time for the prayer cards. Prayer cards. Eight. Prayer cards. Prayer cards. Eight. Hey, it's time for the prayer cards, y'all. Time to get our word in. Baby, it's time. Baby, it's time. No, but it's time for the prayer cards, y'all. So let's get our word in with these prayer cards. Let's see. Child, listen. Woo, we got one, y'all. Do y'all be getting excited? Yeah, I be getting so excited, and I be trying to do everything like properly. So trying to put the prayer cards back in the box so that I don't spill them and all that. But I just be so anxious to get this word. All right, so our scripture today comes from 2 Samuel chapter 22, verse 29, and it says, "You, Lord, are my lamp. The Lord turns my darkness into light." Very self-explanatory. You, Lord, are my lamp. The Lord turns my darkness into light. Let that be an encouragement to you that whatever dark situation you are going through, the Lord is your lamp. And he's just waiting to turn your dark situation into light. Baby, he's waiting to light it up. Okay, so you don't give up, don't quit, keep going through. And I know that's the hardest part, is to go through the storm, because we always hear people say it's a light at the end of the tunnel. Yeah, but when it's raining so hard, like, who wants to keep walking through the storm when I can turn back around and go get back in the car, or I can turn back around and I can go back in the house? But baby, keep on walking through that storm. Because what's at the end of that storm is much better than what you just walked out of. Whew, my God, hold up. What's at the end of that tunnel? What's at the end of that storm? That light that's at the end of that tunnel, it is much better than what it is you just left. It's much better than you sitting in that car. It's much better than you sitting in that house. It's much better than you being in that dead-end relationship. It's much better than that broken friendship. It's much better than those financial troubles. What's waiting for you at the end of that tunnel, at the end of that storm, baby, it's much better. It's the light. Okay, it's the light. It's the answer to everything you've been going through. Again, 2 Samuel chapter 22, verse 29. It says, "Yes, Lord, you are my lamp. The Lord turns my darkness into light." And we're going to say period, okay? But bookmark that scripture so that you can come back to it. Put it on a Post-it note, put it in your wall, put it in your car, put it in your journal, whatever it is that you do with these prayer card scriptures. I encourage you to just put that scripture somewhere so you can come back to it at a later time. So now it's time to get into the episode, y'all. And for this episode, baby, I love this episode, though, because as I was thinking about this particular thing that has been happening, and I've mentioned it on the podcast a couple of times before because it's been happening more and more, I got real excited about what God is doing. And so I was thinking about how in life we encounter, seasons in life where it's required for us to shift. Not all the time are we prepared for the shift. Not all the time are we welcoming to the shift. Not all the time do we even know that a shift is about to take place. But when you encounter the shift, when the shift happens, then it's almost like one of those things of, if you are not in a space where you have given your yes to God, it'll just throw you like all the way off. Okay. And so just to give a little context about this, I remember when I first started Girl Just Heal. And if you've been here from day one, you an OG homegirl, I love you. Thank you so much for rocking with me since day one. But when I first started Girl Just Heal, of course, the name is what? Girl Just Heal. And then I'm like, oh, I'm going to call them my homegirls, because that's what we are. We are a community of homegirls. And so it was niched down to women. Women, the lingo that I say, the colors of the brand, when I create different homegirl merch and things like that, like, it was all tailored and dedicated to the homegirls. Well, God threw a little shift razzle dazzle in there, and I started little by little getting homeboys to come and like, oh, I know this is for women, but you've blessed me too. I know that this is for the homegirls, but we homeboys, like, you gotta create something for us. And at first, it kind of like threw me for a loop because I'm like, okay, Lord, I understand that like men be listening to this because the things I say is not just tailored to women. Like men also are healing. Men also are dealing with things that, some things that we women deal with. Not everything, but healing is universal. Pain is universal, okay? It ain't just that, oh, we're women, so we going through pain. Men don't deal with pain. Men, in fact, deal with pain. Men, in fact, deal with heartbreak. Men, in fact, deal with people walking out on them. Men, in fact, deal with a lot of these same things that we deal with. So it was never nothing like, oh, this is strictly for women and men don't fit. Like, it was never nothing like that. It was only my preference to niche down because that's where I felt the most comfortable at, talking to the homegirls. I'm a woman. I feel more comfortable talking to a woman because we can understand one another. We going through the same things, some of the same things, like our lingo and just the way we approach one another is totally different. And just the makeup of women is different in general. So when homeboys started coming, I was kind of like, God, like, okay, I remember I prayed and I was like, God, I'm not the one that's going to deprive anybody of anything. So if it is in your plan for me to also incorporate men into Girl Just Heal, I'm all for it. Like, God, I'm going to do what you tell me to do. And so little by little, months after months, it's like more men popping up. And they always lead with, I know this for women, but. And so one day I had a homegirl send me an email and she's like, hey, she was like, I want to ask, I'm coming to the conference and I wanted to know if my boyfriend can come with me because you really be helping him out. He listens to your podcast and he love your podcast as well. And when I got that email, it was the moment I realized that Girl Just Heal was shifting. It was the moment I realized that what started one way is shifting a whole nother direction. And so it's like, when this shift is happening, what is your posture? What are you going to do? You already told God, yes. You told God that he can use you in any capacity that he wants to use you in. So when God starts trying to use you in a capacity that you are not familiar with, what is it going to be? What is your posture going to be? How are you going to move when shift happens? And so I sat with that for a minute. I talked to my therapist about it. I was just like, first of all, before I talked to my therapist, it was already this calmness inside of me because I saw Girl Just Heal going in this direction before it officially started going in this direction. Like, it was the little things that happened that I mentioned earlier. Like, I saw this happening. And so I'm like, God, I knew, but I wasn't ready. Like, no, like, wait, give me some more time. I wasn't ready. And so then I started talking to my therapist about it. And I love my therapist's approach because she never tells me, well, I don't think it's a problem wrong with it. You should do this, this, this. Like, she never does that. We sit and we brainstorm together and she's like, how do you feel? Like, what do you think about this? Like, what's coming up for you when you first got this email? And I was calm. What came up for me was I was very calm. And the only thing I said when I read that email, I was like, well, God, if this is what it is, this is what it is. That's my exact words. When I read the email, I didn't feel any fear. I didn't feel afraid. I didn't feel like, what? No, a man can't come. No, I didn't respond to the homegirl right away because I was like, Lord, I want to sit with it because I don't want to just move and respond. And I respond in a way that I shouldn't respond in. And so I sat with it for a minute and I'm like, you know what, Lord, if this is where you taking Girl Just Heal, if this is how you want to operate, who am I to deprive anybody of the work that you want to do in their life? Because what I'm talking about is universal. The word of God is for everybody. My goodness. And sometimes we gatekeep in a way because we like, no, I just want women that's 18 to 35 and that's it. But then you have some women that may be outside of that niche, but because they're not fitting into your niche of what you stamped on what you are doing, not what God stamped, but what you stamped on what you are start doing because it's outside of the scope of what you set forth, the parameters of what you set forth. You feel like, my stuff not for them. But baby, I come to shake it up, okay? Do y'all feel that rumbling? Because your favorite homegirl come to shake it up. And the reason I'm coming to shake it up is because God shook me up. So we all got to get this shake. Like we all have to get it because God shook me up in what it is that I was doing. And the thing that happened when all of this happened, it was just like when shift happens, what's going to be your posture? How are you going to receive shift? How are you going to be receptive of what God is trying to do in your life, in your business, in your relationships, in your career, in your motherhood? How are you going to be receptive to those things when God comes in and he shifts you in a direction that is outside of the scope of where you've been operating in? And I want you to think about that, homegirl. How are you going to handle the shift? Because shift is going to happen. But what started out one way, and that's the word that God gave me. And I was like, you know what, God, that is so real. Like, that's a great word. What started out one way, it ain't going to always be that way. A shift is going to happen and it's going to shake some things up and change some things in your life. But how are you going to be receptive to that shift? Are you going to even receive that shift, or are you going to continue to try and do things how you've been doing things and blocking what it is that God is trying to do through you? Because remember, just because you started a thing, just because God used you to get something up and running, baby, it still ain't about you. Whew. I ain't trying to step on your toes, homegirl, but I'm just keeping it real. It's not about you. It's about those people that you are supposed to help. God used you as a vessel because you told him yes. But if you told him yes, that means you need to tell him yes in every capacity. And so I had to put myself, the things that I'm telling you to do, baby, I've been there. Okay. I had to do it. I had to know that my yes wasn't just yes to the scope of the things that I set forth. My yes went beyond my business plan. Whew, Jesus. Whew. Oh my goodness, that's a word. My yes to God, it goes beyond the business plan. It goes beyond the parameters I set. It goes beyond the box. It goes beyond the things that I'm doing. It's for the goodness of God. It's for God's glory. It's for his mercy. God, you can do with this whatever it is you want to do with this. And so when shift happens, we have to, and that's something that this is a homegirl activity, okay? I want you to think about that. I want you to just think about whatever it is in your life, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a job, whether, it's a friendship, or whether it's something in motherhood or something in a coworker partnership or something like that. Whatever it is, I want you to think about how you would be if God decides to shift whatever it is you're sitting in to a total different direction that you didn't even, when you started out, you didn't expect it to go that direction. And I know for me, I've been receptive to it because I knew from the beginning that it wasn't about me. I knew from the beginning that God was doing a new work through me, and he was doing something that it wasn't just going to be, for women. Like, I knew that. I really, when I say I knew that, I didn't matter of factly know, but it was just, I really can't explain it. It was just a feeling that I had, inside of me. Like, I knew that God was going to do something with Girl Just Heal that I didn't even imagine him doing, for one. But I just didn't know what exactly that was. And now I'm beginning to see exactly what it is. And y'all, we are very welcoming to the homeboys. Let me just say that. So homeboy, if you listening, you already welcome here. Like, you are welcome in this space, okay? God has a word for you just like he has a word for the homegirls. We love you. We here, okay? We here for you. And so I don't know how Girl Just Heal 25 is going to look. Okay. Like I said, I did get that email. Homegirl wants to bring her boyfriend. I don't know how that's going to look, but all I'm going to say is just get ready. Get ready, because this is not something that we can put in a box. This is not a ministry or a movement or anything that we just put in a box and we just tailor it how we want to tailor it, homegirls. We going to a new level, and God is steering this. And so as God is revealing things to me and as God is doing things, I just encourage you to just be in prayer. Yeah, like just be in prayer for the shift that God is doing, not only in my life, but within Girl Just Heal. And also be open and receptive to the shift that he's doing in your life. Okay. How does your posture look when shift happens? Because it's not the question of, is shift ever going to happen? You're going to shift, but how are you going to receive that shift? How are you postured right now to receive that shift? So that's it. That's it for this episode. I pray that this episode really got your wires turning. It brought things up for you to where now you can start thinking about, okay, if God decides to shift me in any capacity of life, how will I receive that? How will I be receptive to that? So I love you so much. Y'all know we're going to close it out with the Girl Just Heal mantra. But first, we're going to take a deep breath in and out. And that is just us releasing all of the cares of this week, today, last week, last month. And we're going to repeat the Girl Just Heal mantra together. So the Girl Just Heal mantra is, I accept myself for who I am. I free myself from all fear. And today, I choose to heal. I accept myself for who I am. I free myself from all fear. And today, I choose to heal. I accept myself for who I am. I free myself from all fear. And today, I choose to heal. So thank you so much, homegirl, for tuning in to this week's episode of the Girl Just Heal podcast. I'm your favorite homegirl, Neimoya Basden, and until we speak again, girl, just heal. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Girl Just Heal podcast. Be sure to connect with us on social media at Girl Just Heal. And if you need an extra dose of support during your healing journey, join our private Facebook community where we can continue to heal, grow, and evolve together.